الرجاء جعل أجهزة الهاتف على وضعية الصامت. بسم الله.
Please put your mobile phones on silent and refer to the compassionate, the merciful. Ladies and gentlemen, peace be with all of you. On behalf of His Excellency Dr. Jamal Saeed Al-Suwaidi, Director General of the Emirates Center for Strategic Studies and Research, it's an honor and a pleasure to welcome you this evening to a lecture entitled Investing in Youth Potential, which will be given by His Excellency Saeed Mohammed Nazari, the Director General of the Federal Youth Authority from the United Arab Emirates. His Excellency Saeed Mohammed Nazari also holds the position of the CEO of Strategy at the Arab Youth Center and has a practical experience that spans 10 years. He worked as the Executive Director of the Youth Office at the Cabin and the Project Manager of the Executive Office of His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, Vice President, Prime Minister ruler of Dubai, God bless him. In addition to working in another 5 prominent establishments at the private and public sector, in which he obtained performance approval of excellent and managed more than 60 national projects, and also worked on developing a number of strategies, including the Youth's National Agenda and the Arab Young People Strategy. His Excellency Saeed Al-Nadari has a master's degree in leadership and graduated from His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan scholarship for training in the NY Abu Dhabi. Thank you. Please, the floor is yours. I'm very happy to be among you today at this wonderful venue where we will be discussing a highly important topic. We will be discussing about investing in youth potential and collaborating with young people, and also collaborating with the young people in the UAE in general. Today, if I'm charged with the task of investing in youth potential, investing in the potential of more than 50% of the people living in my homeland. All of them are under 35, those 50%. So the steps that we take, or the establishment takes, do you believe what's the first step an entity has to implement to invest in young people's potential? Introducing a plan, a program for empowering young people. I agree with you. Do we have another intervention? Yes, that's true. We have been charged with investing in young people's potential, and we focused on the word energy. And we have discovered energy, and that the fact that energy, whatever it is, whether it is oil energy or solar energy or any force of energy or any sort of energy, all of which require investment to obtain the proper ROI, or return on investment, on the community and for the individual. For example, solar energy, since the dawn of humanity, sun has been rising for thousands of years. Only a few years ago, we discovered that this energy can generate electricity, and almost only 15-20 years ago, solar panels began to spread globally. This applies to all forms of energy. Every sort of energy investment had a return on investment. Entities invest to be able to manage all those forms of energy. ADNOC, for example, manages the oil energy. We have establishments that manage and operate in solar energy or in different other forms of energy. So we would have an ROI. The same applies to young people. Now, we see young people and the percentage of their presence among us, they represent a massive energy. So it is a wise decision to have young people under the umbrella of establishments that invest in their capabilities. We started the key pillars of success and investing in energy. His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum always reminds us that the most valuable energy is young people's energy. They are the sustainable energy. They are the energy that can drive success of our homeland, which is the youth's energy. I want to say why this is your homeland. The most important investment is investment in human capital. Throughout history, this has been the case. Since the dawn of history on earth, anyone who invested in a number of people managed to create a nation. So today we have seen how different establishments invest in energy and invest in those different forms of energy. And regardless of the approach to investment, there have been return on investment. For example, the oil energy. Oil is a source of energy. We need first raw oil. Then we also need the proper environment for the production of oil, which are oil fields and so on. Then we have the return on investment. The return on this investment is the outcome. And Almighty Allah taught us that everything in life is based on those critical three pillars. A plant or a root, for example. So if you want to have a plant, it must have strong and solid roots that can enable it to grow at all times and environments. No matter how strong these roots are, they still need a suitable environment because they require water, they require sunlight, and they require the proper environment to thrive and to bear fruit. And in conclusion, of course, of this example, we need to find a tangible outcome of this investment. So if we want to work and collaborate with young people today, our work at the Federal Youth Authority is divided and based. Actually, it is based on similar phases like the growing of a plant. Roots are identity characteristics. They are values, they are identity, and they are the capabilities. Young people, in order to be successful and to be highly productive in all times, we invest in their roots. But no matter how strong a young man might be or a young woman, they need potential. Even if they have the proper characteristics and the proper skills and excellent capabilities, they need a corresponding environment that would empower them. That's why we work on developing the young people's accommodating environment and to ensure their success at all times and places. The ROI, or the return on this investment, is the work of that young man or young woman. Their productivity, whether they are employees, entrepreneurs, engineers, volunteers, students. How can we ensure that the investment brings about added value to our homeland and achieves their aspirations as well? That's why our work at the Federal Youth Authority is to focus on investing young people's energy. ADNOC invests in oil energy, and the Federal Youth Authority invests on a daily basis in young people's capabilities. The sun that rises, the water in our seas, the oil in our oil fields, they are valuable resources that we try to manage and work on them. Life also requires, just like a plant, they need very strong roots to grow and to prosper. They need an accommodating environment that would boost it and enable it to grow and prosper and bear fruit. And the same applies to young people. They are the most valuable form of energy that we have. The characters are the roots and the identity, and they represent a solid reference point and a good environment that provide all stimulating factors and incentives, participation, and people's role and young people's role in giving back to their community, to their homeland, in all sectors and in all locations. And this is what we are trying to achieve at the Federal Youth Authority. Every single day we have initiatives and partnerships to build strong roots for young people and to develop a stimulating environment, an empowering environment, and to underscore the participation of young people in all activities. We are working together to manage our young people and to invest in our young people. I will utilize the time that we have today to discuss a number of initiatives that we're working on at the Federal Youth Authority to invest in their capabilities. So you would learn from them, and every single entity that is represented here today can invest with us in young people and their capabilities through this initiative. And if you have any additions or interventions, I hope you can interrupt me and you can give your intervention. When we started working with young people, the first mission was to convey young people's voice with regards to the different topics and challenges, aspirations, the future that they perceive for themselves and for their families. The council, or let's say the Majlis or youth circle here in the Majlis convey the voice of the community. The Emirati Majlis was a role model that achieved great achievements for the UAE and brought about social balance. They conveyed the aspirations and hopes of everyone in the Majlis to our wise leadership. We worked in the Federal Youth Authority to convey the experience of Majlis to young people. So we started the youth circles. It was a simple idea. Young people would gather in a single circle. They would discuss a single topic in the presence of the officials and the concerned entities. So we held a youth circle about different topics such as housing.
مجموع من الشباب المهتمين أو المقبلين على بناء المسكن.
Young people who were about to establish their own homes, the housing officials and the housing government entities. They discussed the challenges, and during that circle they would propose solutions. That's why we established similar circles about education, healthcare, sports, technology, economy, and dozens of other topics. In 2 years, we held more than 200 youth circles, all of which were in the presence of young people and the officials in more than 30 cities worldwide. Thank God today our country is a reference point for how to interact with young people. It has become quite normal for us to see officials spending 2 hours per day interacting with young people. It is now quite normal for wise leadership to interact with young people on a daily basis. And to see entities listening to young people. We see Youth Circle having the conventions throughout the year. This project was under the patronage of His Highness Sheikh Mohammed Al Maktoum. It provided to the world a highly successful example of interacting with young people. As of 2016 and up till now, every single week we have a youth circle. Every week we have deliverables and outcomes of those circles. So today we have a comprehensive guide. Any young man can host a youth circle. Any entity can host one of them globally. This has become a guide today for our entities and the different entities worldwide of how to interact with young people and use this experience. Many young people, after they convey their experiences to us and their aspirations, they start telling us about what they hope for and what they want to achieve. Yet afterwards, they need opportunities to accommodate those aspirations. His Highness Sheikh Mohammed Al Maktoum started youth councils in which young people are members. They can serve their communities, serve the different sectors that they aspire to. Also, they utilize their energy to serve the homeland. We have the Emirati Youth Council. We have Youth Council everywhere in every emirate. Some of them are with us today, and they work relentlessly after the working hours, the regular working hours, or after studying at the university, to serve the different sectors and serve young peoples and their communities. His Highness Sheikh Mohammed Al Maktoum approved of establishment of Youth Council to convey youth's aspirations and roles. This system is provided of Emirati Youth Council, which is headed by and they propose policies about young people. The local councils for young people has 7 members and looks into young people's challenges and proposes solutions. The cabinet councils for young people and ministerial councils, they are directly under this council and they provide initiatives and different activities. The international youth councils are established in collaboration with the embassy of the UAE in the other countries or foreign countries. The members work on helping the students on scholarships overseas. Almighty Allah granted us a wise leadership that empowers young people every single day. No country in the entire world that can compete with our wise leadership in terms of empowering young people. We have several councils and several entities in the official entities and in the government entities, and even youth councils for all over the world dedicated to young people to convey their aspirations and to help them on a daily basis to implement projects and policies that empower them everywhere. The following step was just like any other opportunities. We wanted to ensure we have scholarships for young people, to provide them with awards, with contests, with projects. Some of those opportunities were not available before to young people, and young people would find it difficult to obtain proper information. So our wise leadership gave directives that we'd have a single platform for young people to have access to all of those opportunities, to find the proper opportunities within minutes. Arab young people are the largest sector of the population in the Arab world. If we are talking about the future, young people shape the future. This platform today has more than 1,000 opportunities for young people at all sectors in 21 countries. For the young people in this region, every young man or woman can find the opportunities available in the country where he lives. They can invest in themselves and their capabilities through this platform. Young people need experience, a challenge that young people may discuss. Today, working at different sectors in the public and private sectors, but for different entities, require a great deal of experience. The different private sector entities require that applicants to jobs have prior experience. Of course, they have the right to do that because they want someone to perform a certain task and do a certain job efficiently. His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum in the International Youth Day gave directives to establish the Youth Council, the Professional Youth Council for young people, so they would obtain professional experience that would assist them and convince public and private sector entities to recruit them. For example, if a young man studies journalism in a university for 3 or 4 years, in addition to the regular study, they will have, in parallel with that, professional journalists who train those young people and who give them professional experience. For example, if a young man today is learning how to manage ports, we have Dubai World Ports, or DP, which manages dozens of international ports. They qualify and teach our young people so they can have experience and become managers of ports globally. And this example is also cascaded to the healthcare sector. We have examples of this in hospital management and in also for teachers. This would enhance their competitiveness in the labor market. The labor market today has become an international global market in the UAE. So every single day we work for boosting our young people's capabilities and giving them an edge. Every young people all over the world seek to integrate academic and professional experience, academic studies and professional experience. Moreover, after the graduation, they obtain another certificate of professional experience. If they have a master's in a specific topic, they would still in parallel obtain a certificate of experience in the same domain. The gap of skills, it's a global challenge. The need of global labor market for these skills are quite evident, and competitiveness are highly important. So in the United Arab Emirates, we have adopted the group participation model to boost innovation and creativity, and to have group participation. We declare the Emirates Youth Professional School, which is conducted in collaboration with a number of entities, which enables you not to recruit any teacher. Every single teacher that trains with us will have a special and dedicated curricula that we have. All young people of the UAE are students in that professional school. There are many pragmatic and hands-on experiences for them in these programs. The wise statement by His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum made every single employee in the public sector a professional individual, and the same applies to the private sector. And every single employee now can invest their time by teaching young people and transferring their professional experience to young people. So we are doing this globally, and this is an example of professional development. Harvard and Oxford universities have a dedicated department for professional expertise for students, but in most cases these certificates are very expensive. A single course of this kind may range from 30,000 to 80,000 dirhams. So it is difficult for young people to obtain those courses. Our wise government is the first government worldwide to provide this certificate with special certificates and professional certificates in auditing, in accounting. All of this is provided to young people of the UAE free of charge. The courses vary in ports management, data analytics, journalism, media, management, engineering, energy, design. Many courses that convey to young people those skills and enable them to obtain the proper toolbox that they need to take the lead in their specializations. Thank God we are working according to international standards. They are the entities that have the capability to establish a leading generation. The same applies to boosting characteristics of and morale of young people. We have collaborated with the UAE Armed Forces, and this year we are celebrating the values of serving our homeland and with military service. And the achievements of our young people in all domains, our young people in the field, our young people in the UAE Armed Forces, great stories of heroism. All of this is conveyed to young people. Today, a soldier and the character of a soldier is a curriculum within itself that teaches future generations values and dedication, and also the meaning of being an Emirati young man, one of the children of the late Sheikh Saeed. We highlight those values and we spotlight the values of soldiers and those values of military service. We convey to them and we simplify them and boost them for young people. In this forum, we had more than 3,500 young people to listen to the heroic stories of our UAE Armed Forces heroes and soldiers. Moreover, the Emirati values is a very important topic that we want all establishments to focus on. How to build the characteristics and values and the values matrix for young people, and how to harness and empower them and to instill in them our tradition and our values and customs into young people. The entire world is looking forward to our values and traditions with great respect. They are noble morals and traditional values. So we have conveyed them globally in a very evident manner. So what we worked on under the directives of our mother Sheikha Fatima bint Mubarak, the mother of the nation, we have provided the National Emirates Youth Values Programs, which conveys an international message and underscores this message. One of the things that we worked on in the National Values Program is social experiences. If we have a lost child, what's the reaction of our young people? How our young people would react in this case? Some people would take action immediately. If there is someone who needs help to cross the road, what's the reaction of our people, of our young people? What kind of values do they embody? We started working on measuring those values and monitoring them through social experiences. Noontime. The experience here is an old man whose car broke down. The temperature is 48, and this is noontime. Under the patronage of Her Highness Sheikha Fatima bint Mubarak, Mother of the Nation. How are you, Father? How are you doing? How can we help you? How can we assist you? My tire broke down, my tire is flat and I need help. I'm going in this case. We will more than happy to assist you. God bless you. Where do you live? I live in Sharjah. We can drive you there if you want. We can drive you. Please go inside the car. It's too hot outside. Wait in our car. Our car is air conditioned. Thank you. Thank you. I will stay with you here. I hope I'm not keeping you. No, don't worry. I'm more than happy to help you. Please wait in the car. Wait in the car. It's too hot for you outside here. Where have you come? From work? I came from Ajman. All the way from Ajman. I'm a little bit ill. God bless you. You are a physician? A doctor? I'm a professor, actually. Your white kandura will become dirty. No problem. No problem. No. Please, don't worry. Don't worry. No. I will do it. Please leave me. This, what you see, this is not a marketing material. The scene that you have seen was on Friday at 3 o'clock. A camera conveyed the values of our young people and their traditions and also their belief in serving their homeland and all the different categories in our community. The camera showed how we are really the children of Saeed. More than 15 Emirati young people are helping one individual. Imagine what's happening on a daily basis in our community and are not really recorded by such cameras. That's why we are working on those social experiences to convey the true image of the Emirati young people, and one of the projects that we worked on is this project. This is one of the initiatives by the Federal Youth Authority under the patronage of Her Highness Sheikha Fatima bint Mubarak, Mother of the Nation. The initiative to introduce and to highlight Emirati values and to sustain dialogue about the Emirati values with residents of the UAE through hosting them in Emirati houses and giving them the ability or the chance to have iftar with the family, the Emirati families. Every single Emirati family can host the Emirati value iftar on one of the days of the holy month of Ramadan by submitting this application of istidafa or hosting for iftar, and you can register online and host people from different categories, and this is an important opportunity to showcase those Emirati values. Emiratis and residents will be in this example. 200 nationalities live with us in the UAE. The purpose of this initiative is to host them in our homes, in the Emirati homes. More than 100 homes participated in this program to highlight our traditions and our values. More than 1,500 residents were hosted in this program from 80 different nationalities. One of the projects that we perform also is to instill the ability to be convincing in our young people and critical thinking. All of us as young people, we acquire the ability to convince. For an interview, a job interview, we need to be persuasive. We need the ability to be persuasive. And if we're dealing with something, if we are selling products or services, we need to be highly persuasive, and this skill is very important and highlights the different skills that young people need. So we had the youth debates for a group of young people who discuss a certain topic, and every side tries to convince the other side with a certain viewpoint, and also through scientific research and through evidence, available evidence and data, through which they can convince young people. One of the debates that we held was a debate for should a young man start by getting a job or by starting to establish his own company. Now the private sector generates employs more than 4 million young people. Entrepreneurs, those who have a job, means that they have stability. Why? Because they have fixed income, and this fixed income will continue to them until they retire. And this protects them from the fluctuations of having an entrepreneur spirit. If an entrepreneur loses his job or so, they have to start from scratch. Every single day that you do is associated with risks. Before I get a job, I had a simple project. It was the first idea of its kind in the Middle East. I had need of more financial capabilities. We entrepreneurs, we make our own decisions. You boost and support entrepreneurship, but projects may fail. People don't fail, people learn. And the youth's debate was also a platform. The objective today is to ensure that young people are highly persuasive and have the research skills and tools and the data, and they discuss their role evidently to instill values and to convince others. In addition to our young people on scholarships, His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Saeed launched the global initiative for Emirati young people to highlight and showcase our successes and our Emirati values and the success of our establishments in the UAE also. The slogan of this initiative is the imprint of the late Sheikh Zayed, which is present globally. It's an imprint that will go and be passed down from one generation to another. We are working also on a number of initiatives which gathered thousands of our Emirati young peoples who are on scholarships in the USA and UK. There are youth councils there that serve and help them. They convey the good message and the great values of the UAE. They also represent us in the UAE, in the UN, in the United Nations. We have a program for young delegates program, UN Youth Delegates program. They convey our voice to the leaders of the world, and they are part of shaping global policies. One of the needs that young peoples have highlighted is the need for locations to convene at platforms that would embrace and boost their skills and spaces where they can work together and learn from one another after their working hours and after their studying hours. His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid issued a decree to have youth centers that would be the best in the world. In the year 2017, after we started working on this topic, we have been studying about the most efficient spaces that have to do with innovation and creativity for young people. Young people's centers in the region look like that. But globally, we see that creative spaces, we looked at Google's creative spaces, to the extent that Google style or Google design has become an international standard for creative spaces. 15 years ago, they have been promoting this. His Highness Sheikh Mohammed, with the efforts and dedication of young people, inaugurated the Young People's Center within 6 months, and which is now highly competitive to any similar center. Now, Young People's Centers are like these. They look like these. They have workspaces for employees. They have studying spaces. They have libraries. They have business incubators. They have labs. They have technical spaces. They have technical labs. They have art studios. They have dozens and dozens of spaces where people can work, whether young people can work and study, whether they are artists, journalists, or media experts, or whatever they are. They want from 8 a.m. until 11 p.m. every single day, non-stop. Where do you find such a wise government that would provide all of these spaces 365 days per year, free of charge, for all Emirati young people? This is, thank God, this is a great blessing of Almighty Allah that we have this wise leadership and the entities that have ensured this reality for us. In the past, we used to see Google as a benchmark, as a global benchmark in the creative spaces. Now, we see Google using our own center to launch its projects and to have its to host their own events. Now, youth centers have been a great reference. They received thousands of delegations and decision makers. Recently, we inaugurated a youth center in Abu Dhabi. It's the largest youth center in the UAE. It can accommodate 2,000 young people per day. If you have not visited it, I hope you can visit it. It's the youth center in Abu Dhabi. They have spaces that would serve every single young man, regardless of their specialization or no matter what their specialization is. They can accommodate them. They have all the tools and the spaces they need, and they have their own colleagues. And those who focus on our things that are similar to what we like to achieve in this regard and convey this and turn it into a job, or I hope that you can spend a wonderful time in those spaces which have been designed by our young people and are managed and moderated every single day by our young people. There are dozens of events that take place there, and in a single year we have held thousands of events every single day. We have similar events that develop people's skills, young people's skills, and all of them are available on their smartphones. You can book a certain space at any point of time and benefit from this space. Today, it is very important to build our communities and to invest in them for boosting our young people's capabilities. If we see the strength of civilizations, and we see throughout history, hundreds of years ago, we have seen the investment in natural resources as the main source of power and energy. And that's what meant success. We had the Nile Valley civilization, and where they had great natural resources. Years passed by, and we have seen nations invested in military force and so on for wars and so on. The years afterwards, we have seen the investment in legislations and policies for boosting citizenship rights and so on. And the nations that have provided and ensured those basic legislations to ensure that people have a decent life. Now, all of these elements have become accessible and we live them on a daily basis. Then modern cities were established and investments focused on infrastructure and services available in the city have become the name of the game. And some cities have become even more famous than some cities. Tokyo is more famous than Japan. London is more famous than the UK because lifestyle there was highly attractive. Now we see another side. Now we see that communities have become the most strong point or the most prominent strength. They change sectors. For example, Silicon Valley is a community. Silicon Valley, if we see it as a space, it's Oman is 3 times the space of Silicon Valley. If we see the number of residents in Silicon Valley, the total number of the population of the USA exceed 315 million, but only 3 million live in Silicon Valley. They represent less than 1% of the population of the USA. Yet, the Silicon Valley community changed sectors, change different economic sectors worldwide, and also change and transform our daily life. YouTube, SpaceX, Tesla, LinkedIn, all of this changed these sectors and transformed people's lives, and we use them on a daily basis in our life. And our daily life relies on those innovations. Less than 300 people were in Silicon Valley. Apple, for example, the total number of clients for Apple is larger than the population of entire countries. The number of people in Apple is this percentage of the total population of the USA. So the communities that we can build through those youth center and the community that we'd like to establish in terms of researchers and scientists and scholars, imagine how many success stories they can generate over the upcoming years. It is important to work with all of you and to host you in those centers. Another project that we work on is the youth's basics, the same way we teach our young people the basics of English in the universities. We also work on providing the basics of different sectors and different topics that young people need to compete in any other sector. We conducted the basics of government. Basics of government where young people learn the government work model, the government format, the FNC, the Supreme Council, the Executive Councils, the Cabinet, the policies, how they are drafted and elaborated. Our ministers, God bless all of them, they were the driving force, they were the mentors in those councils. They taught our young people about the work model. Now young people have very solid knowledge foundation in terms of government performance, and the same applies to entrepreneurship. I have taken too much time, I'm sorry. One of the points that young people have talked about is the inauguration of businesses. They used to talk to us that they face challenges with regards to high rents. So we communicated with the different markets in the UAE, and we spoke to them. We held partnerships with them. Now, if we provide a space or two free of charge for young people, just to test their performance and to start a success story, how can the outcome be? We established the Youth's Launchpad, free spaces for young people, so they can inaugurate the project free of charge. No country worldwide can compete with our wise leadership in terms of providing those opportunities.
فاليوم
Today, we have a project in Dubai Mall, the largest mall of the world, mall in the world. Young people can open the project there free of charge, and the same applies to one of the busiest airports in the world worldwide, which is Dubai Airport and Sheikh Zayed Road, and wherever they like, they can establish a project free of charge as the young people. Those are among the projects where the Federal Youth Authority worked on, and we've seen success stories that compete with the world today. We have projects that young people worked on that compete with global ones. And part of our work in the Federal Youth Authority is to convey the talents of young people and convey opportunities to them. One of the links of this was the space logo, the Space Center's logo. The Space Center provided opportunity for Emirati young people to design the first logo that would reach the ISS that represent our values. These are the international logos of the ISS, or International Space Station. This is our logo that was designed by our young people. It reached Zayed's ambition, reached the International Space Station. It was conveyed by young people and conveyed the message of Zayed and the ambition of Zayed to space. Last project is linking mentors to young people. It is important today to have a role model for every young man and young woman, a role model or a mentor from whom they can learn. We have the 100 Mentors program under the patronage of His Highness Sheikh Hamdan to highlight and spotlight those mentors and their experiences and their success stories, and also to their failure stories, to spotlight the difficulties they faced, the tips of success they give. 100 mentors. We convey a mentor's experience to young people in a few hours. Just like a book. A book would convey to you the lifetime of 10 or 20 years in a single book. So in a single session by those mentors, we convey to young people a lifetime experience in civil service and in work. Most of these experiences are based on a science called the science of creating mentors and heroes, which was mentioned in a story in a book by Joseph Hattie.
Heroes of ancient myths. What if I told you they are all variants of the same hero? Do you believe that? Joseph Campbell did. He studied myths from all over the world and published a book called The Hero with 1,000 Faces, retelling dozens of stories and explaining how each represents the monomyth or hero's journey. So, what is the hero's journey? Think of it as a cycle. The journey begins and ends in the hero's ordinary world, but the quest passes through an unfamiliar, special world. Along the way, there are some key events. Think about your favorite book or movie. Does it follow this pattern? Status quo, that's where we start. 1 o'clock, call to adventure. The hero receives a mysterious message, an invitation, a challenge. 2 o'clock, assistance. The hero needs some help, probably from someone older, wiser. 3 o'clock, departure. The hero crosses the threshold from his normal, safe home and enters the special world and adventure. We're not in Kansas anymore. 4 o'clock, trials. Being a hero is hard work. Our hero solves a riddle, slays a monster, escapes from a trap. 5 o'clock, approach. It's time to face the biggest ordeal, the hero's worst fear. 6 o'clock, crisis. This is the hero's darkest hour. He faces death and possibly even dies, only to be reborn. 7 o'clock, treasure. As a result, the hero claims some treasure, special recognition, or power. 8 o'clock, result. This can vary between stories. Do the monsters bow down before the hero, or do they chase him as he flees from the special world? 9 o'clock, return. After all that adventure, the hero returns to his ordinary world. 10 o'clock, new life. This quest has changed the hero. He has outgrown his old life. 11 o'clock, resolution. All the tangled plot lines get straightened out. 12 o'clock, status quo, but upgraded to a new level. Nothing is quite the same once you're a hero. Many popular books and movies follow this ancient formula pretty closely, but let's see how well The Hunger Games fits the hero.
فاليوم إذا بتشوفون الشخصيات حواليكم أهلكم.
If you see characters around you, role models, they are the people that we see in most cases of our lives, and we seek to convey this. Thank you very much. I've taken too much time, but I've highlighted some of the projects that the Federal Youth Council's worked on from the beginning of 2019 until today. They invest on a daily basis in young people's characteristics and boosting their capabilities and enhancing the environment that they have to boost their productivity. The coming is better. I hope to hear your questions. How can we enhance our work and delve into new domains, double our successes and our homeland successes? Thank you. Thank you, Your Excellency, Mr. Saeed Nazari, for this valuable lecture. Now we'll open the floor to questions. Please, if you have any questions, stand up and introduce yourself. Please. Thank you. Dr. Mohammed Ahmed Fayyad, a dean of a college and a consultant at the International College. I liked the media sector, that the media points that you have referred to. Your Excellency, Mr. Saeed Mohammed Nazari, in reality, I would like to thank you for all what you have offered. All what I've seen now is embodied in the charismatic approach that you have adopted, because you are really innovative and creative, and the vision which is, of the Federal Youth Authority is embodied in your own character. I will not say there are seven points. They are just 7 strokes. The eighth one is too long to be said. It requires a long session. Mr. Saeed, the accommodating environment of the authority is very sublime for the UAE, based on great values such as innovations, vision, farsightedness, and homogeneous deep vision for young people as envisioned by their highnesses, the rulers of the UAE. There are points that I'd like to highlight in terms of developing the authority. Some of them may be already available. I believe that currently it is necessary to use those energies and innovations so they would have a newspaper, a weekly newspaper. It should be printed out and electronic. I'm sure it will be a new approach that is unlike all traditional newspapers. It will be a gateway for a satellite channel in the future. Why a satellite channel? While all young people are on social media, the satellite channel is not for young people only, it's for their parents, so they can support and stimulate them. Second point, have you given in those administrative majlises seats, have you reserved seats or positions for people of determination? Thirdly, I hope that we would dedicate a circle to innovations by young people. I meet young people, many of them, who say they have innovative ideas, but they are facing obstacles. I hope there's a certificate, a patent for young people that would be highly embodying the pathway to the original patent. Following point, with your permission, your question brief, there are points. I hope you would have a special society for young people. I hope you would have those who have won medals to have a pass card and special characteristics. Thank you. I believe we should have a meeting with you to discuss all the points. All what you have mentioned is very important, and it will be implemented. Your Highness, His Highness Sheikh Mansour bin Zayed is overseeing this program for young people, and they train within 2-3 weeks with Bloomberg, with Sky News Arabia, with NBC, with many prominent channels that develop people's skills and open the doorway for the different newspapers and to be presenters. They have things to do with innovation, creativity, and youth circle. You will see all of that. And also for people of determination, thank God, the youth centers have dedicated consultants from people of determination. They teach and they also train and empower us to design the proper spaces that are beneficial to them on daily basis. God willing, we'll develop those spaces so their experience would be much better. We call upon you to visit the Youth Authority, the Federal Youth Authorities. One more question or intervention. Thank you. Peace be with you. Thank you for this valuable presentation, which took us to our memories of young people. My name is Taysir Sliman. To invest in young people, we need to discover those skills and those energies, and we need to seek them. And to be able to discover them, we need to seek them and to reach them. My question, can we have coordination between the Federal Youth Authority and the management of schools and universities to boost those entities and to provide guidance to them? Thank you. It's a very important and a very good point that what Mr. Taysir highlighted is one of our main areas of focus in the upcoming period. The discovering experiences and skills is difficult, but we do work on that by collaborating with young people. What's as you mentioned, it is important. We have young people's centers, which are highly important, and they seek young talents. How can we select them? And also in schools and universities, there are centers that are associated with them and convey their talents to us. It is important to discover talented young people, but the main and more sublime objective is to ensure that every young man becomes a talented one, and to be able to develop their characteristics and to have productivity and be innovative in all domains. We'll seek those talented young people and will work with the different entities, including schools, universities, to ensure that all of our young people are highly talented. Thank you. It's an honor. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. We learn from you. One question. Peace be with you, Your Excellency Saeed Nazari, Director General of the Federal Youth Authority. Thank you for this wonderful presentation. I am your brother Khalid Mohammed Shamsi, one of the members of the work group for the Federal Youth Authority. I'm really honored to belong to that authority and to work in the management of youth schools and membership of youth schools. My intervention is an intervention, not a question. Seizing the opportunity of the presence today, the UAE has provided these wonderful opportunities, which, as highlighted by His Excellency Saeed Mohammed Al-Nadari, we cannot find even such important opportunities to young people. We see that this is very important and really unmatched worldwide. We see that there is no 100% support for young people similarly to the UAE. So I would like to say to young people here, we need to benefit from those opportunities, even in the federal youth organization. How can we become working with you, and how can we work with you? We always say that any young man in the UAE is part and parcel of the work framework for the Federal Youth Authority. You should utilize the time that we dedicate to you. We are working 24/7, 7 days a week. We are open all the way to provide you with great proposals. Before I delve in here, they say at which age group you host so we work on this, and he said we work with young people. I'm above 35. We said that we are more than happy to collaborate with anyone, even if he's not above that age. No problem with that. Thank you. I would like to add to what Khalid said. Khalid is a member of the Youth Council, and whether now or on Saturday, on Friday, they work relentlessly to convey this message directly. Any young man can serve in any field. So I believe that young people's experiences are highly important to us, and we see great results for young people like Khalid. So some of those young people have become members of the FNC, and I really speak to you as a member of Harvard. A student at Harvard was one of the members of the Youth Council. Some of them today are leading prominent projects. All of this is being done free of charge, except seeing their own success being materialized in the community. Thank you, Khalid. Thank you very much for your great efforts. I believe that today you represent thousands of young people, and we hopefully would see you in the future as a role model to everyone as well. Thank you. Last question in the back. Peace be with you. First, Your Excellency Saeed Mohammed, thank you for this wonderful presentation and this wonderful gathering. I didn't know much about the young people, but today you have given us a comprehensive overview about the progress. So you have done a great job. We are proud of you, and we are proud with this progress. We are proud that we have started this initiative. So my intervention, I have a PhD degree in social relations, not social media, social relations directly. Through my PhD thesis, the category that I worked on was young people's category, new employees, how they implement their professional objectives and achieve them through social relations. When I started working on this survey, I conducted a lot of dialogues with young people. They did not know how to establish a social relationship and obtain your objectives, and when not to establish such a social relationship. This is highly important. I started giving lectures. Thank God, all young people learned a lot, and we're very happy to learn about that. So I hope from this platform to cooperate with you and to convey this knowledge, because it's very important. And there is a study by Harvard University that said that social relations are the cause of happiness in life. I hope that we can cooperate with you in this regard. Consider it done, God willing. We will need your consultation, and we will need to start cooperating with you. This is very important. With regards to social relations, one of the projects that we provide are young people's centers, which establish friendships with young people who have similar hobbies and similar activities that they want to enable them to work together and get to know one another. So this is very important to learn from you and to benefit from your expertise. One of the topics that we really focus on in the upcoming period is mental health. Many young people globally are facing this challenge, which has to do with social and psychological happiness, depression, bullying, all of the topics that have to do with this. The UK has recently established the loneliness minister, or the loneliness center minister, and because loneliness affects life at different stages. So this is very important to deal with this, Dr. Fatar, and we will be working with you in this regard. It is a highly important topic. Thank you. Thank you very much. Sorry for taking too much time. Thank you. It's fine. Thank you. God bless you. At the end of this lecture, once again, on behalf of His Excellency Dr. Jamal Saeed Al-Suwaidi, the Director General of the Yemen Center for Strategic Studies and Research, I would like to express our appreciation for His Excellency Saeed and Nazari, and thank you very much for your kind attendance, and hope to meet you in upcoming events and lectures. Thank you, and peace be with all of you.